There we go. Now you can hear me. Well, hey everybody, all you CFL fans, welcome to this Grey Cup special show that we are doing here on the Red Zone, and we're going to be talking about a lot of very big topics today. Majority of the game, that's one of the main topics we're going to be doing, but also we're going to be doing what's it like here in Vancouver. I know it's raining right now; it's absolutely pouring outside. And I know that put a lot of damper into a lot of the outdoor events today. I think a lot of them got moved in. We're going to be talking about that. We're going to be talking about the teams themselves, the chances with each team, what they have stacked up against them in this Grey Cup coming up tomorrow. And then at the end, we have an excellent trivia quiz that we're going to be doing. It's very, very unique. You're going to be playing for a 2024 Grey Cup worth $250 jersey. So that's what we're going to be playing for. And that's going to be at the end of the show. The show's going to run about an hour, no longer. So yeah, let's just dive into it. And let's get right into this here. A little bit about me. I've been living in Vancouver my whole life. I'm a sports fanatic. I've grew up on all the sports here in Vancouver, especially the BC Lions. I've been with them for since I was 10, 11 years old. Old Empire Stadium, and Dad taking me to games on weekends, Saturday night games, which started at 8 o'clock back then, by the way. They went to about 11. And I've been a whole Canuck, Lions, Whitecaps, everything. But my deep heart goes with the BC Lions. They always have. I mean, for a long time, they didn't win the Grey Cup. And for a long time, no team had won any championship when they did actually win the Grey Cup, when I was alive anyways, in 1985. So, yeah, I'm very honored to be here. And this is my third show that I'm doing. And as you can see right behind me, of beautiful BC Place Stadium, where they'll be playing in the game tomorrow. If anybody who hasn't been to the stadium or to Vancouver to see it, if you ever do get out here, do go see it. It's a magnificent stadium. It really is. In fact, I have talked to a lot of people from the NFL crowd that have been all over NFL stadiums, and they say this is one of the most beautiful stadiums, even it compares to a smaller NFL stadium, but it is a beautiful stadium. So if you have a chance to get out here and go into it, or even come out for a Lions game or a Whitecaps game, come and see it. It's unbelievable. So let's dive into this. We got one more sleep before the big game tomorrow between the Winnipeg Blue Bombers and the Toronto Argos. And believe it or not, it's been a long time since those two played each other in the Grey Cup. So we're going to dive right into here. We're going to want to know what you guys think, this type of thing. What's going on, what you guys think about this Grey Cup tomorrow. We're going to open up the phone boards, and we're going to open up the text lines themselves, and we're going to go from there and see if you guys do want to call in or text us in. And if you want to pop that up right there, John, thank you. So there we go. Call 866-307-9253. That's 866-307-9253, or text us at 604-210-0643. And we'll be doing the contest on that line. We'll actually try to get most of the people to come in through the YouTube part of the texting part of it. But if you... as we go along here, if you guys have anything you want to say, or you want to call in and talk about the game tomorrow, that kind of thing, give us a ding. Anyways, all the show, to get back to it anyways, on my show itself, we want to put this out there for anybody who does want to call in, that kind of thing, or would like to text. I know there's a lot of text going on through a lot of shows and things like that, but we really want to open up a phone board, and anybody who isn't feeling very, very comfortable of phoning, go ahead, give us a call. That's what it's there for. It's for you guys, that kind of thing. So let's dive right into it. This game tomorrow. So we have the big Blue Bombers that have won 2 out of the last 4 Grey Cups. This is their 5th Grey Cup that they're in. And I really don't know exactly what to make, what's going to happen tomorrow. I really don't. It looks like this Bomber team from the West Final a week ago is very focused. They are very focused that they're not going to blow this. They're not going to lose this game. And if that is, then I think Toronto's in a lot of trouble. I honestly think that the Toronto defense can stand their own part. They can do a very, very good job. But I honestly do think that if Winnipeg decide to put it on all feet and go forward with this and just completely dominate, they will, because they're that good of a team. They really are. And there's a reason why they've gone to 4 Grey Cups. And I know they've only won 2, but there's a reason why. And they seem to know how to win in the big games. They seem to know how to do it. And I honestly think that the Winnipeg Blue Bombers are the big favorite, which they are. But Toronto can hold their own. They've done it before. You look at the last game they played in Winnipeg. They beat them by a couple points. But Toronto's defense was unbelievable in that game. They slowed down the running game. They slowed down the passing game. I don't know how many times they sacked Collaros. Must have been 3 or 4 or 5 times. I can't remember how many times it was. But if Toronto can do that and hang on and stay close, they have a chance. Arbuckle, who basically is running around from team to team a little bit, he did win a Grey Cup in 2018 with Calgary. And he has done his time in the CFL. He's 30 years old, and he wasn't even ready to come back to the CFL. He was ready to hang him up. He was going to go back into another profession. And Toronto signed him, and they picked him up, and he's done good. He has done very, very good those last 2 or 3 starts that he played. And until Chad Kelly came back, it was between him and the backup. They were both doing a pretty good 1-2 combination. But I honestly do believe that the Argos would not have gotten here without Chad Kelly. He basically, once he got warmed up during the season and got going, they started winning games. And then he started throwing touchdowns and started reading defenses and using his legs like he can do. So, yeah. I believe that this game is going to be won in the trenches, completely in the trenches. I don't know about having I don't feel it's going to be a blowout. I really don't. I really don't feel that at all. I feel it's going to stay close. It's really, really going to stay close. And like I said, if Toronto have any chance of winning this, it's going to be because they have kept it close through the whole game, and they might come back and win it on a field goal or maybe a last-minute touchdown, or you never know. But I think if Winnipeg take it to them and carry it away, they could win by 7, 8, 9 points. But the Argos themselves have got a big task in front of them, and their big task is the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. And they are a team that is going to go down in history as one of the best teams in CFL history, even though they haven't won 2 Grey Cups. And a lot of people are saying you're going to call them a dynasty, or you're not. No, but because they haven't won any Grey Cups in the last 2 years. But to get to 5 straight Grey Cups, that's a remarkable thing to do. It really is. It's not easy. It's not easy in this league to do that. The Argos have won the most Grey Cups by any sports team in Canada, or I think even any professional sports team in the world. They've won the most. And the Argos, when they have come into BC Place for the last little while, have won. They really have. And we're going to have some of that on our trivia contest. But yeah, the Argos themselves are going to be under a big test tomorrow. I think if they can get off to a really, really good start and shut down that Bombers offense, a couple twos and outs, and the Argos probably are going to have a lot of confidence in themselves that they can, okay, get onto the board or keep up with them anyways, that kind of thing. Yeah, having Chad Kelly in there is not going to help. There's no doubt about it. But Arbuckle is good. He's been around. He's 30 years old. I know he knows what it takes to win. He played under Dave Dickinson and won a Grey Cup there. Bo Levi Mitchell was Grey Cupping Calgary at the time, and I think he can lead his troops. And sometimes the troops are your teammates. When you have lost your main player, they even bear down even more and they push even harder. Not saying they wouldn't with Chad Kelly, but with Arbuckle they would. They want to go out there and they want to prove it. I believe they're ready. They're ready to go. And I think it's going to be a better game tomorrow than what most people think. I really do. And I know a lot of people here, when the Bombers did beat Saskatchewan, they were saying, oh God, we got the Bombers coming and then got the Argos, and if Saskatchewan was here, it would be way more exciting, but you don't know that. I mean, we don't know what kind of game it could be tomorrow. It could be an unbelievable football game. It really can. The last couple of Grey Cups have been unbelievable. One's worth going to do or going to watch. When you think, okay, the Bombers are playing the Argos, which the Bombers did play the Argos a couple of years ago, you didn't think they were going to win, and they did. The Argos did. And then last year, of course, against Montreal, they didn't play very well either at the end. And because of that, the Alouettes are Grey Cup champions. So what's going to happen here? Who knows? But you're welcome to give us a call. The lines are right below me, and we can talk and discuss what you want to discuss about this Grey Cup, and especially all you Bomber fans out there, and maybe you Argo fans that are, it's got to be about 9:30 at night now. And yeah, if you guys are back in Winnipeg and you want to get some stuff off your chest about this game, give me a call and let's get into a discussion. Anyways, so my take on this whole Grey Cup tomorrow has potential to be a very, very good game. It really does. I know a lot of experts are saying that, they're picking the Bombers to win by 15, 20 points, this kind of thing. I just don't think it's going to go the way it did last week in the West Final against Saskatchewan. I just don't think it's going to go that way. You're in the biggest game of your life, and you got to leave it on the line. And I think that's what the Argos are going to do. They're just going to leave it on the line and see what happens, that type of thing. So, but yeah, anybody want to discuss any of the defenses, combinations going on, the receivers, what they got to do, especially the Argos, they got to get the receivers, I think, in there first. I think Arbuckle's going to have to spread out 10-yard passes, 15-yard passes, not try to get everything in one shot, wear down their defense quite a bit, and go from there. And if they're going to kick a few field goals, they're going to do that. But like I said, if they can stay in it and they can play a very tough D, and get after Collaros, then they have a chance. They really do. It comes down to one game. They have a chance. So, yeah, anybody out there want to give me a call? Come on out, give me a ding, and let's chat about this. So, yeah, we're going to get into quite a big conversation here about the Grey Cup itself here in Vancouver. Now, we haven't had it here since 2014, and it's been that many years since the Grey Cup initially has been here. I mean, it was here 2011 and 2014. But it's been a long time coming. And Amar Doman, our owner, the owner here in Vancouver, has done an unbelievable job of really focusing on what people want to a CFL game, especially here in BC. And this Grey Cup himself, he's got a lot of help. And our president, who used to run the Grey Cup committee all over the CFL, he worked all over the place, has done a marvelous job. It really does help sometimes what two teams are in it. I know it does, but they have done an unbelievable job. They got 50,000 tickets sold already, and they have went around to the public and said, what would bring you guys out to a Grey Cup festival? What would actually work? Like, what would interest you? And a lot of people threw ideas out to them. And a lot of people wrote in and told them, if this is happening, we'll go. Yeah, sure, we will. So they got all those ideas together. They put them in a pot and they scooped them out and they started talking about them. They started working on them. And one is a zip line, which is brand new, which is something that was going on yesterday, as I saw firsthand. It looked tremendous. You know, you're basically going right over to the water onto the other side. And then on the other one, it goes right down the street down by the Pan Pacific Hotel. It's really unique, something like that. And of course, everything's inside because of this weather here, and which is very smart, I know. And another thing that Omar has done, and I know he's famous for, is concerts. He set up a lot of indoor concerts where last night there must have been at least 1,500 people for this one show right outside the convention center. And he knows what the people, especially younger people at this day and age, what they really like, you know, and what will bring them out, this type of thing. And Grey Cup sometimes in the big cities like us in Toronto and Montreal, I guess, you know, depending, can sometimes get lost, right? And they have before. They've gotten lost before, and a lot of people seriously were walking down the street and seriously said, I didn't even know there was a Grey Cup going on, you know, here in Vancouver. Maybe they haven't been watching the news or whatever, but yeah, sometimes they can get lost. And Amar Doman has made sure it didn't get lost. And he made sure that he has his celebrities here, that he has what people want to do. And, you know, you can't cater to everybody, I understand that. But he really has turned the corner on Grey Cup, festivities. You know, he has really done that. He has really turned the corner big time. And I'm going to tell you that Amar Doman himself has been here for going on 4 years now. And when he first got here, a lot of people in this market liked him, liked his energy, liked what he said he was going to do. But he said, okay, this owner, okay, let's put the walk to the walk, right, to the talk. And he did. He went out and did it. You know, he started from the grassroots and wanted to get out there and wanted to push and push and push, and finally got the fans to start coming out to Lions games. Yeah, a lot of them have been pre-concerts at these pre-concert game at the beginning of the year is a tradition now. You know, we all come out and we watch the concert, we watch the game. Some people leave, some people stay, but the big important thing is he gets people in the seats, and he gets people realizing that there is, you know, this BC Lions team is big deal here. It really is. It's a big deal in Vancouver. And yeah, some people say, you know, 50 Cent was here last year and we sold it out. You know, 54,000, we sold it out. And a lot of people were at that game. Yeah, a few left by halftime, a few left in the third and fourth quarter. But the whole point is they had those people in the seats. And those people there are why the Lions were averaging close to 26, 27,000 a game this year. Is because of that. We went down from 24,000 up to 27,000. And this is what Amar does. And when he got the Grey Cup here, I knew right away it was going to be successful. I knew right away, like, no matter what teams are in it, no matter what team, because you can't count on that. You can't count on the Lions being in it. You can never count on your home team being in it. You can't. It's a crapshoot. You throw your dice out there and you see if they get into it. And if they don't, then, you know, you better have enough parties and enough fun going on where people are going to go anyways. You know, that type of thing. So, but I honestly think that the Grey Cup itself is a huge tradition here in this country, like unbelievable tradition. It's something that is been a part of my life, my whole life, and Canadians themselves. And the future of this Grey Cup is in good hands. I mean, next year it's going to be in Winnipeg, and that's going to be fun. That is going to be noisy there. And the Bombers are obviously going to be competitive. They're going to be pushing to host their own Grey Cup. They really are. And If they get there, it'll even be more fun. But if they don't, I know Winnipeg will be unbelievable because they are such a good football town. And we want to get every city like that here in Canada, like the ones that are in the league. We want to get every city like that here, like a Winnipeg. We want to. Eventually, Toronto. Yeah, we're going to get into them in a second. But um, I know a lot of these cities, basically, if they had winning teams, they would draw the people. You know, Calgary is going to take a little time to get the fans back, even if they do win next year. And same with Edmonton. You know, there have been a lot of damage, a lot of wounds done that people just don't want to go. They don't want to go there at all. And yeah, I think I think every other town, like Ottawa, you look at Ottawa, winning season, they drew very, very good crowds this year. Hamilton, 22,000 on a team that didn't make the playoffs. Not bad. It only holds 24,000 people. That's not bad. And here in BC, you know, we got to have a winning team too. We have to. If we don't have a winning team, people won't come. And that is a face of fact. That is a fact here in Vancouver. It's too big. There's too many other things to do. Like in Montreal. If Montreal don't have a winning team, people won't go. And that's just the way it is. But if we have a winning tradition here, people will pack BC Place. We'll get over 30,000 a game with the upper deck open every game if we can continue to do that. The only one that we are all worried about is Toronto. And with the Argos, they have come a long ways. I believe they have done better than what I thought they were going to do. And when Chad Kelly was away for 9 games, I think that hurt them. I think it really did. If Chad Kelly had not gone through that debacle that he went through, I think everything that Chad Kelly himself even admitted would have been way better off. But so far, he's walked the walk, right? He hasn't done anything. We'll see for the rest of the year. I'm predicting that he'll be fine. I'm predicting he'll be fine. I know a lot of people still can't forgive for what he did or should not be in the league or that kind of thing. But you know, to be honest with you, Chad Kelly is a multiplayer. Like he's a promotional player. You know, he was before he started this, anyways. You know, he's some guy you could market after. Um, we'll see what happens after this, but I believe that the Argos are on their way up. I know it's been a slow, slow ride since David Braley sold them to Tannenbaum, and um, now that the new owners are coming in. I was talking to a lot of fellows yesterday from Toronto, and they were telling me that with the new ownership, they feel better about it because they knew what to do from before. They got into that stadium when they had the team back at Rogers Center, and they were doing actually a pretty good job till Braley bought them, and then um, Braley kind of let it go, and then he was all in mind. He was willing to sell them to uh, to the new owners that they have now and get into BMO Field, you know, and go from there. And a lot of people were thinking with the Argos with BMO Field that it was going to change their dynamic. People were actually going to start to come because it was outside. They're getting out of Rogers Arena or Rogers Center. I'm sorry, Rogers Center, and people were going to actually go to games because it was a nice atmosphere. Well, it hasn't, and they still have a lot of work to do. There's no doubt about it. But I believe they can get out of this. I really do. Having that team in Toronto, a lot of people have to realize how important that is. Without a team in Toronto, the CFL isn't going to exist because all the corporate sponsors come from Toronto. TSN's from Toronto. So many different things. And it faces around the Argos in that area, and they're a big part of it. And without them in the league, um, yeah, you might go 3 or 4 or 5 more years without them there, but you could see things starting to slip. And then you could see some of the bigger teams moving or folding or whatever they're doing. So I think the Argos are going to get through this. I really do. And I believe they're on the upscale. And as long as they can get a good amount of people in that stadium where it feels exciting to be there, people will go back. They will. And I was talking to a lot of fans yesterday, and they were saying from Toronto, and they were saying they love BMO Field. They love it. They think it's perfect for the Argos because it's small enough. Um, the sight lines are excellent. When there's a lot of people in there, it's noisy. It's a great atmosphere, like 20,000 and above, 18 to 20,000. It's a fun place to be. It really is. So they got to build on that, and they got to move forward. And I believe this will work. with them. I really do. Um, anyways, that's my opinion on a lot of the times with the Grey Cup. The future of this league, again, my phone boards are open if you want to give us a call and see how we're doing and put your opinion into any of this. I'd love to hear from you, go from there. And yeah, if you want to text in, text in. So basically, yeah, the my opinion on the future of this league. It all starts by one person and one person only. That's the commissioner. It starts on top of the management. It starts on top of the board of governors who they're going to hire for commissioner because Randy Ambrosie is done. He's finished. He's going to stay on until they find somebody. But as I said in one of my shows before, I believe that they're going to find somebody before the season starts in June, like probably in April or May, around that area. I believe they're probably even before that, maybe before training camps start for all the teams. It starts up there, and you got to have the leadership up there of promotion, marketing, profiting. Getting a 10th team is vital in this country now. You know, having a 10th team here in the CFL is vital. It's got to get done. It has to. It's not saying it's going to fold or anything like that, but it's going to even out. It's going to, first of all, even out the schedule completely. And it's going to give a little more respectability, I think, the CFL, if it has a 10th team. And more eyes on the television, more ears to the radios, that kind of thing. And respectability comes with fan attendance. And I believe attendance will increase if we get a 10th team. I do. If we finally get some importance of how that is to this league. We have been playing in the Atlantic, in that area. We've had games there every year for years. And then we finally had the Victoria one last year. But in the Atlantic, we've had games for so long there that people know what this football is about. They've seen it live, and they will go after it. They will do it. Now, if it's Atlantic or Quebec, I'm not too sure. What do you guys think? Do you guys think we should go look at Quebec, or should we just stay in Newfoundland or Nova Scotia? That type of thing. A lot of it's stadium costs, and a lot of it who's gonna come out and fork out the money for the stadium. That's a big cost right there. In a lot of ways, my philosophy is just go out and do it. I know it's hard, like without where the future is going to go. But here in BC, when BC Place was getting renovated, we built an Empire Field for only like $14 million, and it would have been good enough for 2 or 3 years until a new stadium's built. Something like that can be done in some of these, markets out there. And I do understand we got to get ownership. I do understand we got to get a group of people to come in and buy a stadium, or it's going to have to come through the government or whatever. And a lot of people don't want to pay that. Of course, totally get it, but that's up to them. That's their call. But if your job is to get a team, a 10th team, just go out and do it. And I totally understand Randy Ambrosie saying you just can't go out and just do it like that way. You can't just go out and do it. You need backing, you need this, you need that, and everything else. That is all true. That is all true. Anybody who's run a business, I totally get it. I totally get that. But a lot of times, you just have to go out and do it. You just have to get it done. And if you get it done on that 10th team, pick a year where they're going to start and just do it. And then go after that year. And that's exactly what Mark Cohan did with Ottawa. It was 2 years before they started. I think 2.5. Was it 3 years? No, 2 years. 2 years. And then all of a sudden, he knew where the owners were. The owners came out and bought the team, which was great. And then they had to finalize everything. And then they redid Lansdowne Park. They redid it to TD Place. And that team has been a huge part of the CFL since it came back into the league. And it's going to be here forever. I mean, it's not going to leave. No, it's not going anywhere. The Red Blacks are very big. They got a very big following. In fact, yesterday, when I was at one of the parties, I saw a lot of Red Black shirts. lots of them, and not just people from Ottawa, but people out here too that are from Ottawa. So, in my opinion, yeah, to get that 10th team, sometimes you just got to say, oh, what the, and just do it. And I know it's easier said than done, but that's what you have to do. So, guys, yeah, the future of this league starts from there. What other opinions do you guys have? What do you think? Do you want to give me a call? Do you want to let me know? You text me even, and write into the board of YouTube there if you even want to text it in there and let me know what your opinion is, what's going on. Having said that, we have had here in British Columbia a very good season. And a perfect example is Amar Doman, or what he's done, here in BC. And he's basically set the bar high now for examples of new Grey Cups coming up. Winnipeg, I'm sure they're going to do a great job, as long as it's not too cold. As long as it's not like minus 40 or minus 30 and snowing and that kind of thing, because you can never tell in the prairies. You can never tell. They've been lucky there for their playoff game because, what was it, 8-9 degrees there? It was fine. But you can never tell there. We got Grey Cups coming in Winnipeg and Calgary coming up. Let me hear about that with you. What do you guys feel about Calgary getting a Grey Cup? And I know they said now they're going to replace the turf, but they need a new stadium. Even our commissioner Ambrosi said it's a dump. He's first one to admit it. It's the oldest stadium in the league. Well, I think Molson is in Montreal, but this one is one of the oldest anyways. I've never been there. I've known people. I've talked to people who's been there, and they say it like anybody who's from Vancouver have gone there said it reminds me of the old Empire Stadium from here. That's how old it's fallen apart, and it needs to be changed. It needs to be changed right away. So it would be great if they could upgrade that thing before the Grey Cup, like even small upgrades and seats or whatever they could. And starting with the turf is a good job, but they could upgrade the locker rooms. They could do a lot of things. Yeah, on my opinion with the future of this league, I totally don't understand why marketing is such a bad example from, it could be from the Board of Governors. We don't have the right commissioner, that kind of, it could be a lot of things. But marketing in any business is any key. And we have a great game here. We have 3 downs, we have the Rouge, we have, going down to the last minute. I think every game this year was like, I say 90% of the games were like within 3 or 4 points. At the beginning of the year, all those walk-off field goals that we had, I mean, it was really exciting. The NFL would just be scratching their hands if they had that every game, and we did. I only have 9 teams, and there's only 8 playing on a weekend. There's only 4 teams playing, and if we have an extra, of course, if we have an extra team, we could have every team playing on weekends. I'm sure some teams are going to need buys and that kind of thing. But anyways, I want to hear your opinion on the future of the CFL. And anybody who's been to the Grey Cup out here in Vancouver, is anybody watching out here in Vancouver who's walked around town and see some of the events going on way down by the convention center, down by the water, down by Pan Pacific Hotel? Yeah, it's quite good. It's really picked up yesterday, which is Friday. And I was down there probably about 6 o'clock, and it started really, really picking up. Of course, it was a nicer day. And I know Convention Center is going to be hopping tonight. It's going to be jam-packed. Every room is going to be jam-packed, with fans. And everybody's excited. Everybody's getting along. And this is what the Grey Cup is so good about. It's so good about uniting Canadians together, bringing Canadians closer together. Ran into so many people. Ran into people from Nova Scotia. I ran into somebody from Baltimore. Do you remember them? The Baltimore CFLers. They come every year. They love our Grey Cup, even though they're still Baltimore Raven fans, and they admitted it. They love their team, but their CFL team was very special to them. They really felt that somebody had come in and given them a pro team when the Colts just got up and left years ago, and they felt like they were robbed, and somebody came in and put some life back into that city. And of course, when the Ravens came along, the CFLers had to fold, right? You can't compete against that. But anyways, I was talking to them, and they just love the atmospheres of Grey Cups. And he was telling me he was at 2 Super Bowls last year, or last year and the year before. And he was saying the Grey Cup, the greatest thing about it is that you really unite, with everybody around this country. Everybody's wearing jerseys, all kinds of jerseys. And it's a reasonable price to walk into these parties and just mingle and make friends all over the place, that kind of thing. Um, the entertainment is a blast. They've gotten so much better over the Grey Cups that we have been to from the past. Before, I would say, for the first Grey Cup that I ever went to was 1983, and it was the Lions and Argos. And at that time, it was just about the game. Yeah, they had some festivities. They had a few dinners, and then they had the award show, and then that was it. But they didn't have what they have now. And it was back then. It was just about the game. The Lions hadn't been in it for 20 years, and it was like, oh my God, let's just get this going. But it was the Grey Cups like that were like that back then. Of course, they didn't have the big halftime shows they have now and all this kind of stuff either, right? So, and tickets were way less money back then. But as they were telling me last night, like when they gone to a Super Bowl, he was saying that people still are great. They talk, they meet people from all over the states, all over the world, this type of thing. But to get into a party like that is like $225, and $225 to walk into like a Lions Den or you know the Green Room in Saskatchewan, if that's what they call it, or the room for the Blue Bombers. Like if you walked into a San Francisco 49ers party, you'd have to pay, like each party is like $200. So you have to pick a party, you get it for the whole weekend, but you still basically can only go to one party. And I totally get it. The NFL can afford that. I totally get that. But my big thing is the CFL is just, it's got so much commodity to it. And the Grey Cup is just such a traditional thing. It's been over here 111 years it's been here. And it's the oldest cup. It's the oldest professional cup in North America, in the world. Maybe next to soccer, no. But in the world, yes, it is. It's the oldest. And I would say, did we invent football, Canadians? I don't know. We had rugby and everything, and I think the Americans came in and mixed it up and had their game, we had our game. So, that's the way it is. But anyways, yeah, so any of you people out there would really like to get into some trivia, we can start that if we like. I haven't heard from anybody yet, but the way we're going to do trivia is we're going to have people come in and tap into the chat, and whoever gets it first taps in. I'm going to ask a few things about the trivia, like whoever's actually going to tap in first into the chat, or text me. Don't phone, but just text or tap into the chat, and gets it right, gets that point, because there's going to be a lot of things going on here. This trivia is going to run about 10-15 minutes. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be throwing up some videos of old games, and they're going to be snippets. They're not going to be the whole game. Of course, we can't do that, but there's going to be snippets, like 15, 20 seconds, 10, 15 seconds. You got to tell me where that Grey Cup was, what year it was, and who won. You don't have to identify the players. You don't have to identify the play, all that kind of stuff. But you got to know where the Grey Cup was, what year it happened, and who won. And if you do that, so basically, for example, if I came in and I typed it in quick and I put it up, and I saw your name up there first, you would win that round because you came in first. So it's going to go one. You got to get a fast typing scenario going here. And whoever types it in first and whatever name I see first, they get a point. And then we'll go through all the rounds, and then whoever gets the most points at the end wins the jersey. 2024 Grey Cup jersey, donated themselves. Okay. So yeah, anybody interested, let's text me, like just tap me in and just say, yes, I'm interested. And if you're not, then I'm going to wait for some people to say they are interested, and then we'll get on this going. And tap me into the chat session and let me know you are interested. And if you are interested, then we'll get it going. So let's get back into the game a bit, and let's discuss what the Blue Bombers really, really have to do, or what the Argos really have to do to win. Um, like I said, their defense has to come up big. They got to stop Collaros. They have to stop him from the big play, you know, and they got to stop their receivers. You know, they're going to get some big plays. They are, but they got to keep on pace with them. If they don't keep on pace with them, Winnipeg's going to run away with this game. You know, they are. They're that good. And if the Argos can step it up defensively, and Arbuckle can really work down low and get a lot of first downs, get a few touchdowns, maybe a few field goals, stay with them. You know what it's like in the Grey Cup. Anything can happen, right? Anything can happen whatsoever. You know, we've seen it time and time again how teams have come back over the Grey Cup years. Times and times again. How a team was up by 15, 20 points and they came back. How a team was staying so close and leading all the way, then they lost at the end. We know how this works. This CFL is like that. It's basically, you just don't know how the game's going to go. It goes right down to the last second. So, like I said, if the Argos can stay that way, they could probably squeeze it out. But if the Bombers come out and they play like they did last week, and they're on a mission, and they don't let up, it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough without Chad Kelly for the Argos. It really is. Like I said, Arbuckle is a good quarterback, but he's not Chad Kelly, right? He's not, you know, he can't, he doesn't have the arm. And Chad Kelly, I think, reads defenses a little bit better than Arbuckle does. So we can go from there. But anyways, let's get into this trivia here. If anybody's ready for it, get back to me. Let me know. And we will get into this trivia contest right now. So we need about 3 or 4 players to do this. And if we can get that many, then we can be giving out this brand new Grey Cup 2024 jersey. Actually, I'll show it to you guys here. There it is right there. Anybody wants to see it? Beautiful looking jersey. So if anybody saw that there, it's up for grabs. We can do, like I said, we'll show some 5-second, no, probably 15-second clips. You have to tell me what game it is, where it was, the year, and who won. Obviously, we know what game it is, but who won, the year, and yeah, if we can get that, then we'll give you 1 point, and we'll go from there. Then we have some photos we're going to throw up, and we're going to give it about a 5-6 second domain on that too. And if you like the photos that you see, you can guess them, then we'll go from there too. And I have some questions I'm going to be asking as well. So the videos part of it, yeah, we're going to be showing them. If anybody can guess what they are, put your name up, and then like I said, the winner will receive that beautiful jersey. So we need probably about 4 or 5, or 3 to 4 players would be the best, I think. If we can get that many players on here, then we can give that away. So yeah, anybody have any comments you want to type in? Go ahead, type some in, and let's get a discussion going here on the big game tomorrow itself. How do you guys feel? How do you guys feel about this? How do you guys feel that it isn't sold out? And I don't think it's going to be. I think it's going to be close. I think it's going to be 2,000 or 3,000 short. But it didn't sell out right away. How do you guys feel about that? Do you feel because of the lines it would have sold out right away, or maybe even the Riders were in it, it would have sold out right away? Yeah, I don't know. Any 2 teams that are coming into this market, I think we're very picky on what we want to do with our entertainment dollars here in this city. And if The two teams looked very, very interesting, very good. I think it would have been sold out. And that's just the way Vancouver is. That's just the way it has become. It wasn't like that before, but it's become that way now. And people, this city is an event city like Toronto and Montreal. We're an event city. We love huge events. And if it was the Lions, it would no doubt. In fact, I could see prices doubling, tripling in the upper bowl and then the lower bowl. If Saskatchewan got in, I could see it's probably sold out already. But don't count on it being completely sold out. I don't think it's going to. I think we're going to hit between 51 and 52,000 tomorrow. And but it's still going to be an excellent, excellent crowd. When that place is that full, it's an unbelievable place to be in. It really is, especially with the roof open. Of course, the roof's not going to be open tomorrow at all. So we're going to go into that stadium and we're going to have a great time, and there's going to be so many people dressed up in different colors. It's going to be unbelievable. I mean, the amount of people that are walking around that are Blue Bomber fans right now is unreal. It really is. Unbelievable amount of people. There's a few Toronto ones that I've seen, but there's a lot of Rough Rider fans, of course. A lot of Red Black fans. I saw quite a few last night of Alouette fans. I think they already had their ticket booked, thinking they were going to get there. And look what happened, right, with the Argos. So there's that. There's Red Black fans. There's Hamilton fans all over the place. It's a really a big, huge event out here, and it has been all the time, that kind of thing. And the Grey Cup has always been one of the main events that, people have always looked forward to out in this city, Let's talk about getting the younger youth out to the CFL games. What is the next commissioner got to do that? I think honestly going to the younger youth is a good thing, but it's also a thing that has to take time to get there. Amar has done it here. I'm going to tell you right now, 5-6 years ago when I went to a Lions game, I saw between the age of 20 and 25 or 30, maybe 30 or 40 of them. Now I see over hundreds going to Lions games every week. Hundreds of them that are at Lions games. And I believe the next commissioner has to really think about catering to the youth, catering to the teenagers, catering to the mid-20s, to the 30-year-olds. Yeah, we already are Canadian. We already are catering to the families, and then they got to do that too. And every team has to cater to the families. There's no doubt about it. But cater to the youth and cater to the 25 and 30-year-olds. Like what they like, what's exciting for them. Why are they going? Why aren't they not going? Ask them. Come out and ask them. Why aren't you going to Lions games? Oh, it's not the NFL. Well, no, it's not. But what would make you consider going to a Lions game or going to a CFL game? What would make you consider going to that? If it had this or it had that or, this type of thing. We're not the NFL. It's not going to happen, people. This is not the National Football League, okay? Where we have millions and billion-dollar players playing on the field. It's not going to happen in this league. This league is always going to be a player making between a really good quarterback making between maybe 400 to 800,000 a year. Like we're talking top-notch CFL, quarterback. A top receiver making maybe 300,000 a year, but that's going to be about it. The NFL has, first of all, got way more money. Their TV contracts are through the roof with money. In fact, I have talking to NFL people that have known for a fact that there's a lot of teams that if 30% of their fans only showed up, they would still make money because of their TV contracts. Our TV contract has to be bigger. It will. And I believe TSN will renew it. I believe it will. And I believe it'll be a bit bigger. And it will help out a lot of other teams. Are we ready to do any trivia yet? We got one person on here with me. Let's get 2 or 3 more, and then we can start this trivia contest. And this jersey is yours. And whoever wins it is yours. We can't do it with one person because obviously they're going to win, right? But this 2024 jersey itself is yours. There it is. Okay. So let's get on the line. Let's do this. What do you guys think? And let's get this contest going. Um, see what you think. Let me know. Let me know CFL stuff itself. We're basically going to be doing CFL all year round. We're not giving up on it. I'm going to be doing this once a week. And we're going to have some really interesting topics that we're going to dive into all year round. Off-season stuff, of course. We're going to report a lot of off-season stuff that's going on around the league, around the teams, that kind of thing. But also go back to the memory bank, and we're going to be bringing back a lot of pretty cool memory stuff that we're going to be bringing up. For example, like the Great Expansion to the States is going to be an excellent show that we're thinking of doing. Basically, a time when the Grey Cup was king in this country. We're gonna talk about that. Not the Grey Cup, I'm sorry. When the CFL was basically it, like just completely it in this city as well. We're gonna do a show on the popularity of it, how it's gone up and down, and why it's gone up and down. And yeah, we're gonna get into a lot of topics over this year. So, and we're gonna have phone-ins if anybody wants to call in. Get used to me first. I totally get it. Your calls are safe with me, of course. When they come up on the phone, I don't see your name or number. They come up as our name, the red zone. So I don't see anybody's names on there whatsoever. So no worries about that. But yeah, we're going to be doing this once a week, and we're going to be next week probably going to be talking a lot about the Grey Cup, what happened and what went down, and looking forward to next year. We're going to be talking about next year. But also I'm going to be going through a lot of teams, the history of the teams, finding out the history of the players and doing a report on them and what made them tick this year, what made this team so darn good. Like there was a team in the 50s, the Bombers. They won 3 or 4 in a row. What made them so good back then? We'll discuss that. We'll discuss, how the Lions turned their franchise around. We'll discuss that. We can discuss a lot of things with this league that a lot of people haven't touched on from the past because there's so much history to this league. We want to bring it all out to you guys, that kind of thing. And of course, with the BC Lions, when they start their season, we're going to be doing the post-game show as well, where we're going to have a number and people can call in and get their reaction from that. So, yeah. So, discussing wise, what's going to happen? I've pretty well gone through everything with the Grey Cup that is going to work. Do I think we could have done a better job from what I've seen so far? No. I just can't see anybody coming in and doing anything differently that would sell this game out completely like this. Maybe if they got down to the upper bowl and there's a few thousand tickets left, distribute them to organizations or things like that, just to have them gone. Yeah, you could do something like that, but you don't want to also get a lot of people mad who's paid top dollar for those tickets way back in October or September or July, that kind of thing. So I want to hear, put your GM hat on. What do not your GM hat, I'm sorry, put your commissioner's hat on. Let's find out what we got to do. But what is the starting thing we got to do with this league? Like, where do we got to go? And how do we get better? How do we improve this league? And our commissioner, I know, have said that, our television was up, which it was this year, quite a bit. In fact, I know the East and West final, I never heard the numbers from there, but I know the semifinals were almost at 1 million at each viewing. And I'm sure they were last week too, and this Grey Cup, we'll see how many people viewed it, like it's going to be in 6, 7 million, 10 million, 5 million, that kind of thing. So we'll see from there. But yeah, let's get into this here. If anybody wants to do any trivia, we need a couple more players and then we can start right away. And then you guys can just text me in and let me know exactly what you want to do with the future of this league. But any of you Bomber fans out there want to talk Bombers, get back to me. Argo fans want to talk Argonauts, get back to me. Let me know. Let's discuss this. Let's think where is this Argo team going to go? You know, even if they do win the Grey Cup, do you think it's going to help next year? Do you think it's going to help with attendance? Do you think it's going to help with promotional wise? I do. I honestly think it will. I don't know, for some other reason. I remember back in 2012 when the Argos won the Grey Cup. It was the 100th Grey Cup. And Mark Cohan did a fabulous job with that Grey Cup. Well, I helped when the Argos were in it, but he marched that Grey Cup right downtown. He was smothered by thousands of people, went right into the Rogers Center with it. And on the day of the game, people were so excited. For that weekend was all Argos, for that weekend. And can that get back to that ever? I'm saying in a matter of time, yeah. In a matter of time, you can get back to where they're very excited about this. But like I said, the reputation of the CFL has to grow more and has to get better. And if it does, then we'll probably get back to places like that. You know, like I said, if we can get these cities where the ones have been losing for the last little while, especially the small markets like Ottawa and places like that, Edmonton, Calgary, people will come back. They will take a little time, but they will. They'll come back. So yeah, want to get on your terms of that. Get on the terms of this big game tomorrow. Are you going to the game? Do you wish you were going to the game? This type of thing. I'm sure if you're a Bomber and Argo fan and you're back in Winnipeg or Toronto, I'm sure you wish you were. Cost is a little bit there, but if you're living here in Vancouver, are you going to the game or not? And if you're not, tell me why. Tell me why you're not going. You know, so many people were selling tickets here. Lions fans just wanted to get rid of them. Or if you don't sell them, are you still going to go? Let me know. Get back to me. You know. You know, let's get on board with that and find out what's really going on, and who's going to be at the top of the ship tomorrow by say 6:30. Is it going to be Winnipeg or is it going to be Toronto? Who's going to win? What's your prediction? You know, and why are they going to win? On my behalf, from my knowledge, I really can't see the Bombers losing 3 in a row at a Grey Cup. I can't see it happening. I think it'll be close. I think it's going to be exciting. But, you know, they learn from those two games. And I just can't see them losing. Not because I'm a huge Bomber fan, because I'm not. I'm a fan of all the teams. But, you know, reality is reality. They're good. They are good. They're one of the best teams that have been around the last 10 years. You know, and they have been like that for 5 years at least. So between them and Calgary, you know, they were very dominant. Before them, it was Calgary. Now it's the Bombers. So, you know, I just believe they're too powerful. I don't know how much they're going to win by. I believe they could win. They could win by 30, 40 points, so they could win by 5 points. You know, I remember when it was back into the 1990 Grey Cup when the Bombers were back here. And they basically came in and they absolutely smoked Edmonton. They killed them 50-10. You know, it was over by halftime, you know, and nobody suspected that. So, and I remember the 1986 Grey Cup here in Vancouver. And Hamilton came in to play Edmonton, who beat us out in the West Final in Edmonton. And Hamilton came in huge underdogs, and they killed the Eskimos. They beat them. It was over by halftime as well. So you never know in this game what's going to happen. You never know, that kind of thing. Anyways, get back on board. Let's figure out if you want to do this or not. If you want to get into the trivia contests, and we can lay down the line. If we're going to stay like this for a little bit, that's fine. I can throw the trivia out there, but we're going to save the prize for another day and keep it for another day until we get some more viewers on here. Yes, I've just started. This is my 3rd broadcast. But we'll get some more viewers on here, and then later down the road we can give it away then. But if you want to do the trivia, we can start that now. And if you want to type it into me and let me know what it is, that would be fun too. So let's start off with some video clips here. And then I'm going to say, okay, type it in for me and let me know exactly what this video clip is. Where, what year, and who won this game. Let's start off with this very first clip right now.
Brock goes back to the shotgun once again. And now fires looking for Crawford, and this one is picked off by David Shaw.
Okay, can you tell me that one? We know who the two teams were. Where was this, in what year, and who won this game? You want to type it in? Let me know. Let's go from there. Who won that one? That was between Winnipeg and Hamilton. What year did they win it? Who won it? And where was this played? Does anybody know? Okay, we'll get on to the second one now. And we'll go from there. This is the second video.
McQuay, flipping, 11-yard line.
Okay, let me know where that was played and what year it was, and who won that game. If anybody wants to pop back in and give that a crack, let me know. Write it down inside the comments or text me. My text number is right up here. My phone call number is right here. Give me a call. Let me know. Does anybody want to punch in on that one? Here's the third one.
Coming down on the sidelines now is Kahari Jones. Here's it out. Arlen Bruce, touchdown!
Does anybody know where that game was? What year it was played and who won? All these are Bombers in Toronto. All these are Bombers in Toronto. In Grey Cups they have played in. Do you know what year that was? And why? And what year? Who won? And where it was played? Here we go again.
After that, and a referee called him. Good call. James Murphy, he'll score.
Okay, can anybody tell me where that was played, what year it was, and who won that game? Between BC and Toronto, or BC and Winnipeg, sorry. What year was this? Where was it played? And who won this game? Just go ahead and type it into your scroll down there on YouTube and let me know. Or if you want to text it right up here or give me a call, let me know. Okay, here's the next one.
And a referee called him. Good call. James Murphy, he'll score.
Sorry, just played that one.
After that, and a referee called him. Good call. James Murphy, he'll score.
Last drive, 6 for 6. Goes to work, delivering, picked off. Adrian Smith is going to score. Touchdown.
Okay, does anybody know where that game was? And what year that played? And who won? Does anybody know? Does anybody have a clue? Type it in. Let me know. We're just going to take one small little break here, and we'll be right back shortly.
Sidelines, touchdown! Gone there over to the right. Barrett throwing to his right. It's intercepted by Ed Barry. Barry down the sidelines, touchdown! Gone there over to the right. Barrett throwing to his right. It's intercepted by Ed Barry.
Hello, everybody. Yeah, so let me know. Where was that game at?
Barry down the sidelines, touchdown! Gone there over to the right. Barrett throwing to his right. It's intercepted by Ed Barry. Barry down the sidelines, touchdown! Gone there over to the right. Barrett throwing to his right. It's intercepted by Ed Barry. Barry down the sidelines, touchdown!
So where was that game at? Does anybody know? Does anybody want to get back to me? Let me know.
Early field goal. Matt Dunnigan rolls out. He's being chased. He turns back, dumps it off to Richardson. Early field goal. Matt Dunnigan rolls out. He's being chased. He turns back, dumps it off to Richardson. Early field goal.
Does anybody know that game? Do you know where that came from? Does anybody know? Get back to me. Where was it? What year? And who won this game? And here's the last one, kind of a special one. There's no sound to this, so see if you guys know this.
Flutie rolling right. Looking over the middle, complete. Down to Mitchell, touchdown. Flutie rolling right. Looking over the middle, complete. Down to Mitchell, touchdown.
Hey, does anybody know where that game is? And who won this game? And where was it? And what year was it? Two more left.
Garza goes to the sidelines, and wide open is David Williams. Williams fights his way to the 2.
Okay, does anybody know that game? Where it was, what year it was, and who won that game? Get back to me. Let me know. Okay, we have one special one here. This is the very last one to see if anybody can get this. Okay, it's kind of an older game, but see if anybody can get this. Anybody get that? What year it was, who won, and where was that game? So that's all the clips that we have. And yeah, hope anybody can type in to me and let me know what they thought of this. And yeah, anybody out there with the answers, I'm going to do them again. I'm going to go right through them again. If anybody wants to come in and join in and play for this, let me know. We'll start with number 1.
Back to the shotgun once again. And now fires looking for Crawford, and this one is picked off by David Shaw.
Okay, does anybody know this game? Does you know where it was, what year it was played, and who won this game? Can anybody type in? Text me if you want. I'll pop up my text number again here. And my phone number if you want to text me and let me know. We'll go to the next game.
McQuay, flipping, 11-yard line.
Does anybody know what year that game was, where it was, and who won this game? We all know it's Toronto and Calgary, but do we know who won, where it was, and what year was this game, was this Grey Cup played? We'll go to number 3.
On the sidelines now is Kahari Jones. Here's it out. Arlen Bruce, touchdown. Coming down on the sidelines now.
Does anybody know that game? Do they know where it was, what year it played, and who won this game? We'll go to number 4.
Toronto side or the Edmonton side will be the scene of wild celebration. Here's Barrett, he's gone!
Does anybody know that game? Where it was played? What year was this Grey Cup? And who won this game? Was it Edmonton or Toronto? Let me know. Type it in. We'll go to number 5.
After that, and a referee called him. Good call.
James Murphy, he'll score!
Does anybody know this game? Where this game was? Who played in it? Not who played in it, but year. Where the location of the Grey Cup was that year, what year it was, and who won this game? We'll go to number 6.
Drive 6 for 6. Goes to work. Delivering, picked off. Adrian Smith is going to score. Touchdown.
Does anybody know that game? What year that was played? And who won? And Yeah, the year, where it was played, and who won. Get back to me. Let's go to the 7th game.
In the lineup. 2nd and 10. Burgess into the end zone. Lee Hull, touchdown.
Does anybody know that game? What year it was, where it was played, and who won this game? Let's go to number 8.
Gone there over to the right. Barrett throwing to his right. It's intercepted by Ed Barry. Barry down the sidelines. Touchdown.
Does anybody know that game? Where it was? What year? Who won? Does anybody know? Let's go to number 9.
Matt Dunnigan rolls out. He's being chased. He turns back. Dumps it off to Richardson. Early field goal.
Does anybody know that game? What year it was? Who won? And where was it? Where was this Grey Cup? Let's go to number 10.
Clooney rolling right. Looking over the middle. Complete. Down to Mitchell. Touchdown. Clooney
Does anybody know that game? What year it was and who won it? And where was it played? Let's go to number 11.
Garza goes to the sidelines, and wide open is David Williams. Williams fights his way to the 2.
Does anybody know where that game was? What year it was and who won this game? Just 3 questions. What year it was, where it was, and who won this game? Let's go to number 12. Does anybody know where that game was? Who won? And what year was that played? That's a bit of a tough one. Does anybody know who won this game? It was between Toronto and Winnipeg. Who won? What year it was? And where was it played? Of course, it was a very sloppy day that day, so I'm going to give that as a hint. Anyways, the other trivia questions I have right now are photos. I'm going to have some photos of some coaches from each team, the Winnipeg Blue Bombers and the Toronto Argos, and I'm going to have a very few seconds up there on them, and you guys try to guess their names. I'm going to give it about probably 6 or 7, like probably very quick, 3 or 4 seconds, and then back to me. Who was that? Who was that coach? Do you guys know his name? And how many did he win a Grey Cup for the Argos? Okay, it was an Argo coach. I shouldn't say that, but did he win a Grey Cup? Yes or no? Well, what is his name? Here's the next one. Who was that coach? Who did he coach? Did he win any Grey Cups? Who was that coach? His name? The team he coached for? And did he win any Grey Cups? Here's the next one. Who is this coach? What team did he coach? And did he win any Grey Cups? Get back to me either way.
Yeah, the real turning point there was my leg going on its buffet.
Here comes the one more. Who's that coach? Who did he coach? And who did he coach? And did he win any Grey Cups? Get back to me. Let me know. Here's another one. Who was that coach? Who did he coach? What team did he coach? And did he win any Grey Cups? Yes or no? Type it in. Let me know. Here's another one. Again, who's that coach? What team did he coach? And did he win any Grey Cups? Let me know. Now, this one's kind of a gimme for did he win any Grey Cups, because he actually is holding the Grey Cup, but I just want to know his name, and that's it, because it obviously shows him what team he had coached and him holding a Grey Cup. So, just his name. Who is that? Anybody out there know who that is? Here's one more. Who is that coach? Who did he coach? What team did he coach for? And did he win any Grey Cups for that team? Let me know. And we have one more. Who is that coach? Who did he coach? And did he win any Grey Cups? Obviously, he did win a Grey Cup. But who is that coach, and what team did he coach? Let me know. Get back to me. All right. That runs it for the coaches and the videos. Now I've got some trivia coming up here. Now in my trivia, I'm going to give some answers, multiple choice answers, and you have to tell me which one is true or false. Actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you an answer, and you have to tell me if that's true or false. So the first one, how many Grey Cups has Toronto won total in their life of the Argos? How many Grey Cups have they won total? 21? True or false? Let me know. Well, anybody out there who is watching and just not playing, they actually won 18 Grey Cups total. 18. Here's another question. How many Grey Cups in total have Winnipeg won? 12. True or false? Is that true or false? The answer is true. They won 12 in their entire lifetime of the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. And here's another question for you. What year did the Bomber before 2019? What year did the Bombers win the Grey Cup? Where it was played and who against? Before they won their first Grey Cup in 2019. Before 2019. What year did they win the Grey Cup before that? Who did they play? And where was it? Well, the answer is 1990 against the Edmonton Eskimos in Vancouver here. And the Bombers won 50-10. For Argo fans, before 2022, what year did the Argos win the Grey Cup? before the year 2022 when they beat the Bombers? What year did they win the Grey Cup before that? Well, the answer is 2017 against Calgary in Ottawa, in snowy Ottawa. For Argo fans, another question. How many times have the Argos appeared in a Grey Cup? How many times have the Argos appeared in a Grey? Not won, but appeared in a Grey Cup. True or false? 26. Is that true or false? Well, the actual number is 25, so it's false. They've been in 25 Grey Cups. This will be their, I believe it's including this one. Another question for Argo fans. How many times have the Argos hosted their own Grey Cup at C&E Stadium or BMO Field? Hosted their own Grey Cup. That means they were in their own Grey Cup. We're not talking about Varsity Stadium, no. We're talking about at C&E Stadium, the Sky Dome, or BMO Field. How many times have they hosted it at any of those three stadiums? The answer is twice. 1982 at C&E Stadium and 2012 at Rogers. In that 2012, what Grey Cup was that? How many years was the Grey Cup running before that? It's a big number. It was their 100th Grey Cup that they won. The 100 years of the Grey Cup, and the Argos won it. Here's another question for Bomber fans. How many times have the Bombers appeared in a Grey Cup? How many times have they appeared in one? Not won it, but appeared. True or false? 24. Well, the answer is false. It's 28. They've been in 28 Grey Cups. Here's one for Argos and Bomber fans. How many times have the Argos and Bombers played each other in the Grey Cup before this Grey Cup coming up? How many times have they played each other? True or false? The answer is 9. True or false? Is that true or false? Well, that is false. The answer is 7. They played each other 7 times. This will be the 8th coming up tomorrow. And our last trivia question right here. What year was the last time the Argos and Bombers played each other in the Grey Cup? What year was the last time they played each other in the Grey Cup? Well, it was 1950, and it was called the Mud Bowl. That was on the video. The last video there I showed was a bit of the Mud Bowl. Argos have never lost to the Bombers in Grey Cup history. They've never lost to them when they played each other. They're 7-0. We'll see if that continues tomorrow. We don't know. But there's trivia for you. And I hope you guys all enjoyed this show. Like I said, we're going to continue this for the next year completely. Every week we'll be up and running. And we'll be talking about a lot of things that will come in. We're going to have trivia contests like this again. The jersey we're going to give away some other time. We're going to hang on to that and give it away some other time when to be honest, when I get a few more viewers on here. I've just started. And when that starts happening, then we're going to have more contests and more prizes and a lot of great CFL trivia, that type of thing. But as you can see, BC Placing behind me. And it's going to be packed with fans tomorrow. 50,000 that is. And there are going to be a lot of Argo fans, well, a lot of Blue Bomber fans, but a lot of fans from all over the league. So I want everybody to go out and have a good time tomorrow and be safe. have any safe travels that you're coming home on Sunday or Monday. Be safe, and hopefully we'll get back to this place again with this great tradition of a sports event that we have in this country. You know, they say that the Stanley Cup final is great here. It is. If it's Canadian teams in it, it's unbelievable. But believe it or not, the Grey Cup still outdraws a Stanley Cup final game, not altogether, but one game, than it does for a Stanley Cup final. The Grey Cup averages 6 to 7 million viewers watching 90% of the game. 6 to 7 million across the country. Unless it's a Game 7 like it was against Edmonton or, Florida last year and stuff like that. That was a different story. But it outdraws a Stanley Cup final game. It depends what game it is, like a regular game, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever it is, than anything else. So this Grey Cup is a wonderful tradition. I hope it comes back to Vancouver. I know we're going to do a tremendous job on it. People are just loving what they're seeing here. And I know tomorrow's game hopefully is a great game. And if it's not, you can't have everyone that close, right? But hopefully it's a very, very good game. Hopefully everybody has so much fun tomorrow. And either it's going to be the Winnipeg Blue Bombers or the 2024 Grey Cup champions, or it's going to be the Toronto Argonauts are the 2024 Grey Cup champions. And we'll discuss that next show. We're going to run every Saturday. And I will put out my timeline on my page and in my up and on, and let everybody know exactly when I'm going to be up and when I'm going to appear once a week. And we're going to have a lot of fun and a lot of memories of the CFL, but also we're going to just keep you updated on everything that's going on. There's going to be a lot of things coming up after this Grey Cup. There's going to be a lot of announcements made throughout the league. And we're going to talk about that next week. We're going to talk about this game, and we're going to talk about that. And maybe we'll dive back into a different trivia game, because we do have this jersey to give away. But I want to be fair, between 3 to 5 people at least, and go from there. So yeah, thanks for joining me. And when you get inside the red zone, what you got to do, you got to score, right? Every time. So thanks again. And we will see you guys all next week.